This is Mighty Military, and today we're diving into one of the most dramatic and consequential strikes of the entire Russia-Ukraine war. A strike that may have permanently eliminated one of Russia's most secret and irreplaceable weapons testing platforms, the A-60 laser-armed flying laboratory. On November 25, Ukrainian forces launched a precision strike on the Taganrog-Yuzhny Airfield inside Russia. Within minutes, flames erupted across a restricted section of the airfield, and footage circulating online showed secondary detonations ripping through a facility known for hosting Russia's most sensitive aerospace projects. When the smoke cleared, analysts quickly identified the wreckage of an aircraft Russia could never afford to lose: the A-60, the only flying testbed for Russia's airborne directed energy programs. The A-60 wasn't just another modified jet. This aircraft represented decades of research into laser weapons designed to disable satellites, blinding reconnaissance systems, and testing technologies critical for Russia's future space and air warfare strategies. Built on the Il-76MD transport airframe, the A-60 entered service in the early 1980s and evolved continually through the late Soviet era and well into modern Russia. It was equipped with a massive dorsal turret housing high-powered laser technology and carried sophisticated atmospheric measurement equipment to study how beams behave in the upper layers of the sky. By the mid-2010s, the aircraft had become central to Russia's next-generation anti-satellite laser research. In fact, by 2018, the U.S. Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats publicly warned that both Russia and China were rapidly advancing anti-satellite weapons, systems designed specifically to counter American military superiority in space. Although the A-60 itself wasn't meant for combat, it served as the backbone of testing that would eventually feed into operational systems fitted on aircraft like the MiG-31 or future interceptors such as the PAK DP. This is why the Ukrainian strike matters far beyond the battlefield. Russia has already struggled to maintain the scientific and industrial ecosystem required to develop such advanced systems, especially after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Many of the industries that built the original A-60 no longer exist in their former capacity. Rebuilding the aircraft or constructing a replacement with modern components may be impossible without relying heavily on foreign parts, something Russia can barely access under current sanctions. Even more importantly, the loss raises serious questions about the future of Russia's airborne laser program. Some reports suggested the new Petrosvet laser system had completed testing, but there were indications the A-60 still had a major role to play in evaluating the next generation of directed energy weapons. Its destruction may have set the program back by years or ended it entirely. What this strike also highlights is the remarkable evolution of Ukraine's long-range drone capabilities. Despite worsening conditions on the front lines, Ukrainian drone units have demonstrated the ability to hit high-value targets hundreds of kilometers inside Russia, often with astonishing precision. These successes are not random. Ukraine has received deep support from Western personnel, access to satellite intelligence, and a steady supply of critical components enabling large-scale drone production and operations. This isn't the first time Ukrainian drones have inflicted severe damage on Russia's strategic aviation. On June 1, under an operation codenamed Spider's Web, Ukrainian forces launched a massive drone strike that destroyed multiple Tu-95MS and Tu-22M3 strategic bombers, losses that analysts say could take Russia years, if not decades, to fully recover from. Other strikes have taken out Su-34 strike fighters, MiG-31 interceptors, Su-30SM jets, helicopters, and even disrupted operations at major oil facilities, leading to fuel shortages and long queues at petrol stations. Western commanders have openly encouraged these strikes. In July, German Army Major General Christian Freuding urged Ukraine to continue targeting Russian airfields, arguing that hitting aircraft and weapons production sites before they're used could indirectly affect the offensive potential of Russian strike forces. The destruction of the A-60 is precisely the type of high-impact strike Western advisors hoped Ukraine would deliver. The ramifications of this single attack stretch far beyond the immediate battlefield. Russia has long depended on its advanced aerospace programs to maintain parity with Western militaries, especially in space warfare, an area Moscow considers strategically vital. Losing the A-60 could mean losing a technological bridge to future laser-based systems that were meant to counter Western satellites, early warning systems, and precision-guided munitions. For Ukraine, the strike is a powerful statement of capability and intent. For Russia, it represents the potential collapse of decades of specialized research, a capability so rare and so deeply rooted in Soviet-era science that it may never be fully restored. This is Mighty Military, bringing you the most important developments in global defense, aerospace, and military strategy. Stay with us for more frontline intelligence and deep analysis of systems shaping the wars of tomorrow.